Guys, this isn't something that everybody talks about every day, but if you've lived in this county for any amount of time, you realize it's a serious issue. Today we could talk about football, we could talk about video games, we could talk about going to school or going to college, but today is going to be a little bit more intense because we want to talk about some life and death issues. Is that okay today? Is that yes? Thank you. Now, I have a truth to tell you today, and I want to ask you, do you want 50% of the truth, or do you want 100% today? Tell me. 100%. Newport Richey was recently named the pill capital of the world. Do you realize that? That's where we are. Pasco County and Pinellas County are the #1 counties in the state of Florida for prescription pill overdose deaths. That's the statistics. How many people in this room, by the way, my name is Marcus, I'm 37 years old, I lived a life of drug abuse and incarceration, I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but how many people here today know somebody in the last 3 years, or of somebody in the last 3 years that's overdosed? Raise your hand. This is why we're here. Look around this room today. This is why we're here. If you know somebody in the last 2 years that's overdosed, raise your hand. Look at this. 1 year. It's time that somebody stands up and says, listen, there has to be something done about this. We can be part of the solution and not the problem. Any one of you guys in this place, God forbid, but any one of you could be the next person with the tag on your toe. One party, one pill, one drink. You say, man, I'm not a junkie, just like Peter said at the table, right? I'm not a junkie. Listen, there's stories of one drink, one pill, boom, off into eternity. Forever. By the way, forever is for real, but that's for another place at another time. But the point is today is that we don't know if you've tried the pills or the drugs or if you know someone that is, but we're here to tell you today that there's hope. We're here to tell you today that, man, you don't have to try to fit in and be cool and all this stuff and all this. Listen, everybody say reality. Come on, louder than that, please. Reality. The reality is that 7 people a day die in the state of Florida from prescription pill overdoses. The reality is that we're all affected by this somehow, some way. And the reality is that there's many people that they're hoping and wishing that there can be some prevention and there can be some ways that people can see, man, listen, it's not just one thing. An entry-level drug, you smoke a little pot, you know, you do this, you do that, but before you know it, it's one thing to the next. Everybody say identity. So many people are worried about it, what everybody else thinks. And yeah, we're gonna get past the mind and into the heart a little bit. But we're so worried about fitting in and being cool. Man, if I don't fit in with this crew, or if I fit in with this crew, or man, I'm trying to be this way, but I'm not really this way, but you know what? And a lot of us, it's hard to understand that, but that leads to peer pressure. How many people know about bullying? Okay, look at these hands. Let me ask you one more thing. How many of you guys got holes in your bedroom wall when you get ticked off and start punching stuff? We're in the right place. Administrators, look at this. Key issues are being touched here. But let me tell you what it comes down to. One guy still has his hand up. I'm telling you, man, everybody's got a story. My story is I should be dead. At 17 years old, I was going to hang myself in a prison cell. I've been in and out of jail and drug programs and institutions from the time I was 12 to I was 21. I was incarcerated over 25 times. I started with marijuana, and I was at parties and Holiday. How many know where Holiday is? It's going down the twos, isn't it? But listen, I was at parties and Holiday where people took drug medication and there was only 2 of us that woke up. I've seen this. I've seen this. I've sat in the corporal's office, the counselor's office. I've seen this. I know what it is to not give a rip about anything. Listen, I believe it's more than just the pills and more than just the drugs and more than just the peer pressure. It's people don't have hope. And it's a vicious cycle of destruction that starts to pull you down. Now, most of you guys are young, but I'll tell you, man, it starts quick. I'm telling you, you're worth something. You're worth something. There is a plan for you. There is hope for you. You're worth something. Back to my story from 12 to 21, in and out of detention centers, JDC. You hear Peter went to JDC, all these things. Long story short, I should be dead. I should be in prison. with pills and drinking and smoking pot and acid and crack and you name it. I mean, I had so many near-death experiences, but one that lasted in 1997, and it really woke me up. Everybody say, he woke up. But here's the thing. We can be part of the solution and not the problem. And not the problem. Identity, everybody's so worried about what everybody else thinks, they're just willing to go to that party, reach into a fishbowl. You know, oh, my parents don't know, man, they're on trip. You know, I'm going to go hang out with my friends and I'm going to make up all these lies. One lie leads to the next lie, the next lie, the next lie. One pill and one drink. I've heard stories of this. Spice, anybody heard of spice? One bad batch of spice, man. We stand in the courtroom and we see people, man, that tripped out on this junk and just flipped out and lost their whole life. Listen, I'm telling you, everybody say just one. It only takes just one. Remember when he said, hey, I'm not a junkie, that's not for me. You know what? This is hard to understand, but this is truth. And the truth is that you have choices to make. And the choices you make will determine your future. I can only stand here today, 17 years clean, with a beautiful wife and 2 little boys, full-time career, by the grace of God today. But I'll tell you, man, I've seen hundreds, if not thousands of people find hope, find deliverance from addiction. Again, you guys are young, man, but you know what? You know what's up. You know if we're talking to you today. And if you know somebody, Sheila's going to get up here in a little bit and talk to you guys about how you can take the next step. Okay, because we don't want this just to be this thing that you come to is like, man, I went to this thing for school. We want you to remember this. I want you to remember this gurney. I want you to remember these doors. I want you to remember this counselor's office. I want you to remember this rage that Peter had. And a lot of you raised your hand about rage. What happens if you get pissed off? I'm sorry we're in school, but what happens if you get pissed off and your mom makes you mad and your friends make you mad and you say, man, you know what? I'm just going to smoke a little spice and I'm going to drink a little beer. Then I'm going to hang out with this. If you're a girl, I'm going to hang out with this boy that my parents want me to hang out with. Or if you're a guy, I'm going to hang out with this girl my parents want, and I'm going to lie and I'm going to lie. Listen, it's a vicious cycle of destruction that will tear you apart. Listen, you have choices to make. And again, you're worth something. Everybody say opportunity. Remember that word opportunity came up? Listen, you have an opportunity here. You have an opportunity to stop this thing. You have an opportunity. I'm sick of all these doors. You remember that part? I don't know where you're at on the spectrum of this. Maybe you've been affected somehow, maybe a family member. But the thing is, man, is I'm tired of seeing funerals for young people. It's time. And we believe this is the beginning of it, that somebody stands up and says, you know what? No more. Not in this county, not in my school system, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Remember, choices. Everybody say new direction. You may not be thinking about this all the time, but here's the thing, man. People are just waiting for that hope and that new direction. You can make that choice. I hope that you have time, if you've started to try anything, that you'd go to your counselor. Sheila's going to tell you some different things. Sheila from ASAP, she's coming up in a minute, but we appreciate the opportunity to be able to be here and start to at least start to make a dent in this thing. I mean, you guys are young, but it's bad. How many people know? How many parents are here? Is this the truth today? Something has to happen. What is it? What is it? We believe it's when hearts are moved to a place of action. So we want to encourage you to continue to make the right choices. Continue to remember this when you're in a situation where you're like, man, just one. Everybody say just one. No. Do yourself a favor. Turn away from that just one. And get around some people, man, that you can open up to. Whether that's a counselor, a youth pastor, whoever that is in your life, somebody you can relate to, someone you can get that rage out to, that anger. Because it's not just about the pills and the drugs. That's all escape. It's about pain, dysfunction, people being bullied, getting ticked off, tried to fit in here, tried to fit in there. I'm not worth anything. Maybe I shouldn't even be here. You understand? This is important. Again, we could have talked about all kinds of things today, but today is a different kind of day. We appreciate you guys, administrators, we appreciate you. Anybody from the court that's here, we appreciate you. And I just want to, you know what, did they do a good job today? Come on, give it up for this cast. Come on, cast, come on out. We got the cast coming out here, come on. Yes, your eyes weren't playing tricks on you. There's two of them. Where's Jill at? This is Jill. She's the mastermind behind all this. I just want her to talk to you for a minute. And then Sheila, if you get ready, we can come on up.
These students that you see before you are students just like you. They're from different schools, different backgrounds, but most of them have been affected by the drug in their family or in their community or in their school. They practiced hours to bring this to you today, and I just think we should give them one more hand. I think they did a great job. I'd like to introduce to you at this time Sheila Neese with ASAP, and she has a couple of questions for you.
Thank you, ma'am. Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Yeah. How are you? Good. What was this show like? What was watching that like? Yeah. Sad and serious? Yeah. Shocking? Depressing. Yeah, man, no kidding. What do you got? Scary? Eye-opening. Yeah. Yes. So I'm hearing a lot of sad. Go ahead. Reality. Yes. Any different words than sad and depressing? Because we covered that, right? Different? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Awesome. That's fabulous. That's a great compliment. Really? Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Last one. Ominous. What does that mean? I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. All right, Aaron, what did you say? It made you think. What did it make you think about? Okay, really simply said, right? How bad choices can get you bad places, right? That's what we saw. What about good choices? Okay, any choice you make doesn't just affect you, right? It affects the people around you, like your family, right? Like your friends. Does it affect strangers? For sure, all the time. Let's go back to the beginning, over here at the front door, when this started. What did we see? We saw Peter come out. He was having a hard time, right? Right then, what could he have done differently? Yeah, he seemed angry. What else? What could he have done differently? I'm sorry? Oh, yeah. He shouldn't have broke his phone. That's big time, right? Yeah, what else? Okay, when his mom said, let's go to the doctor, that was a little bit later when he was already, using and really involved there with the drugs, in this situation, pills. It could be any drug. He should have said, you know what, I might actually need a doctor. Right, I might need somebody to look at my body and my mind and see what's going on, or what's happening here. Not holding in the emotions. One thing I like about this production is that the music is so powerful. And a lot of times we hide our emotions, but we express it through music. Is anybody here like that? What do you got? You know what? I'll tell you, I'm actually okay with him breaking his phone. I'm fine with it. Because if breaking his phone meant that he wasn't going to use, break mine. Go ahead. What could he have done differently? You guys said he could talk to his mom. What else? Control his anger. Can't hear you. He could have seen a counselor. He could have talked to someone at school. Talk to his mom, you said? Yeah, he could have talked to his mom. He obviously can't talk to his dad, right? Sometimes we don't have parents that we can go to, but we always have someone at school. We always have someone at school. Always have someone at school. Where? At school, right. Okay, good. We always have someone at school. There's always somebody that's like a family member that we can talk to. Always. Always somebody that's like a family member. Maybe it's not in your family. Maybe it's someone that's like a family member. Okay? Can you talk to Marcus? Yeah. Marcus, are you kidding me? They always make me speak after Marcus. I don't know what that is, why they do that, right? They always make me speak after Marcus. You can always talk to Marcus. There's always someone that you can talk to, that you can deal with your anger, so that way you don't go down this path. Was this the story that Peter Chase, the real life character, okay? This is a real story. Is this the story that he intended? Not for a second, right? Not for a second. When in the beginning of this play, the beginning of this production, he did not ever intend for this to be the last scene. Every choice we make leads us to our next step, to the next place where we have to make another decision. Every day, all day, we make choices about what we're going to do, about how we're going to handle ourselves, and about the things, the people we're going to talk to, the people we're going to involve in our lives every day, all day long. At any point when you're struggling, you can talk to somebody and you can turn it around. At any point. I want you guys to walk away with that. I want you to leave here and say, I have that choice. I can make that choice. I can stay away from this kind of path. I want you to know that. How do you stay away from this? How do you do it? Yes, ma'am. Okay, yeah, and it's not just about somebody else taking over your life, but it's maybe something taking over your life. Have you seen where people let things take over their decisions and the things that they're going to do? Whether it's shopping or texting while they're driving, drugs. Maybe it's that they have to look a certain way because that's what they think people want to see. It might just be things. Being true to who you are, staying who you are, and caring about yourself, telling yourself positive things. What else can you do? Okay, you can talk to somebody. What are there positive things that you can do to stay away from this sad, depressing story? Yes, ma'am, back here. Think about how it affects others. Yeah. What can you do? Have hope. Hope for Pasco. Hope for Pasco. Yes. Okay. Aaron? Hang out with better people. Who were these people Peter was hanging out with? No, those are not the people you need to be around. Hang out with good people. Hang out with people that are going to do the same things that you like to do, right? Surround yourself with good quality people who are going to help you make better choices, who are going to challenge you in positive ways, right? Not challenge you in negative ways. Yes, ma'am. Keep yourself busy. Does that mean cleaning your room? It might. It might mean cleaning your room, but it might mean doing something else. What else? How can you keep yourself busy? Yes, sir. Okay, yeah. What else back here? Sports. What else? What, do you play sports? What? Football. Basketball. Other stuff. Football and basketball. Does that keep you away from drugs? A lot, right? Most of the time, there's still drugs there. There's still drugs there. Let's not play. There's still drugs there, right? But if you're not doing drugs, being busy will keep you away from that. What else? Drawing, yes. Hanging around with people who like music, playing music, listening to music, creating music, learning music. You said playing games? What kind of games? Board games, card games, video games. Work. Oh, yeah, work keeps me from drugs. For sure. Yes, work keeps me busy. What else? 2 more. Yes, sir. What? Studying. Will school keep you away from drugs? Yeah, probably. Right, if you're studying hard, you don't have time to be doing drugs. All right, Max, last one. Reading. Yeah. Whatever you do that makes you feel good about yourself, whatever you do that makes you feel good about your goals, whatever you do that you're focused on that's going to project you from here to the next place, to the next door where you have to make a decision, will help you make the best decision. Whatever you do that makes you feel good about yourself, that's what it does. It makes you feel good about you, and it makes you feel good about your own choices. When you get started on this path, it is hard to turn around. Every day we have a choice. Every day you can stay involved in the things that you do to keep yourself happy, healthy, and surrounded by good people. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am? Why are there so many doorknobs? Yes, I didn't get that the first time. It didn't make any sense to me, I'll tell you. Why are there so many doorknobs? Yes, ma'am? He was seeing things. What do the doorknobs represent? He was doing like trying to get out. What was that all about? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, he was confused. He didn't know what to do. He's high, for one. But he was trying to figure out what was going on. He was like, oh gosh, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. What do I do? How do I make a choice here? Right? He was very confused. Any other questions? Any other questions? Yeah. This really happens all the time. This didn't just really happen once. This really happens all the time. Maybe it's not pills. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's meth. Maybe it's spice. Yes? Oh, it's taken too long. It's too long. He says, how long did it take to make this production? It has taken a very long time. But to get it this good, that's what you got to do. You got to invest a lot of time, a lot of energy. Yes. These people have given a lot of time and a lot of energy to make it this good. Yeah. The shirts? Oh, yeah, those 2 creepy people walking around, right? Yeah, yeah. the deception and reality, these guys. I don't know. Deception and reality. What does that represent? What was happening? They showed up at really important times. Really important times. Think back. When did you see deception? When did you see reality? Is it clicking now? What was going on? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, deception was there to manipulate the situation, to hide the truth. Reality was there to show, hey, this is what's real, this is what's going on. And then deception would come in, the lies, the sneaking around, the manipulation, the hiding, and turn it into a bad story. Yes. I don't know the answer to the first question. Where is Peter? Like where actually is he? I don't know. I don't know where the person that this was made from, you know, their story, but I know people that have had the same story. Yes? How do you do what? How do you cope with this happening to someone you're close to? You tell me. You tell me. How do you cope with it? How do you cope with this? How do you deal with this? Right. You talk to them. Does that work? No. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. It doesn't work. You can talk to people. You can tell them, hey, this isn't working. I'm scared. Then what do? Take them to a counselor. Make them. I say force them, right? Get them help. Get them help. Kelly, what do? You talk to them. You tell them, this isn't working. I'm scared for you. Right.
This is my story. Well,
Was.
my story. And my parents, even my brother, had to hold an intervention. And my brother had to come home from the recruiting office. Sister was there. And a lot of times,
You hope.
you have to keep the hope.
You have to keep hoping. Marcus will say it over and over and over, and that's because he means it. You have to hold on to hope. You have to hold on to it. You have to keep talking to them. You have to keep asking for help. You have to keep getting them help. You have to keep trying. It might not work. What do you do when they overdose? Well, first you call the ambulance, okay? First you call the ambulance. Then you talk some more. You talk to them again. How do you deal with it if they're not changing? If you've tried all that and they're not changing, what do? Okay. That's one option. That's one option. If it works for you, right? If you have a spiritual guidance that you go to help you through difficult situations, do that. What else do you do? Yes, sir. Yes? Okay. Get help. Right, that's getting help. That's going to the police, getting help. Talking to your counselors, getting help. Yes. Do you lose who you are? Some people do, but you don't. You shouldn't. You should then stay focused on you. Because if you lose who you are, now we lost two. You don't do it with them. Any other questions? Do we have other questions? Yes, ma'am? Yes. Yes, that was, he's Gonzo. Yes. What's that? Why does it have to happen? Why does it happen? Why do people get started? Why do people take that risk of going down this path? It could have turned at any time. It could have changed at any time. Why does this happen? Why does it end like this? It's because Peter got caught up in it, right? He got caught up in it, and he didn't know how to turn around. And maybe he hadn't learned before that he could turn it around at any point. People were saying it, but he didn't know that. He didn't know that in himself. Yes, sir. Did everyone hear him? Awesome. He said it. He said it. That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. That's what I want you to walk out of here with today. I want you to walk out of here with today knowing every day you face deception and every day you face reality, and you've got a choice to make all the time. It's not always in your face like this, but you always have that choice. I'm going to take one more question, and that is it. And then we are going to wrap it up. Before we do that, on your way out, we're going to dismiss by section. We'll dismiss by school. All right? Does everybody understand that we're not going to get out and stampede away like there's a fire? Okay? We need to understand that part first. We're not going to jump up and everybody run out. We're going to dismiss after the last question. And right before that, we're going to thank the actors. We're going to thank Jill. We're going to thank Marcus. We're going to thank the school. We're going to thank the theater. All right, thank you. Last one. What was the what? Oh man, I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah. I made a lot of mistakes. What was my inspiration? Well, when I made bad choices, what got me to stop was seeing, you know what, I'll tell you. I worked with a lady that was having a hard time, and that she was having a lot of impact in her life because of the things she was doing. And I looked at her and I saw my future. And I didn't want that. You guys have dreams, right? You have goals, right? There's things you want to do. Well, it's work. It's work to get there. And you have to stay focused on that. That's what I realized. I realized I had to stay focused. Thank you guys for being here. You've been a great audience. You've done fabulous. We'll start dismissing. Marcus has more to say.
Didn't Sheila do a good job? Good job, everybody, with these questions. Something's happening in this county. I want you to tell everybody. It's 7, man. It ain't going to be 7 no more. Listen, I want you to, everybody say Good Samaritan law. I want you to know something. I want you to tell everybody this. If you're at a party or you're somewhere where someone is overdosing, you will not get arrested if you call and tell the police that there's somebody dying. That's going to save lives alone right there. That's a law in this county. So God forbid if something happened, you're in a situation where you have to do that, there is a, you will not get arrested. I know stories of people that have overdosed and they took their shoes off them and left them blue dead in the back room. That's reality, unfortunately. Also, if you have pills on you, not that anybody would say they would, there's going to be 2 chaplains in the back, and there's anonymous pill drops where you can get rid of it today. You can make that decision today. I'm going to not take one more. I'm going to tell people. I'm going to make a difference. And everybody say, I'm going to be part of the solution. not the problem. Let's all stand up and say that one more time. I'm going to be part of the solution and not the problem. Give yourselves a round of applause. Tell everybody Pasco County is changing. There's going to be some chaplains in the back with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office.